Alright guys, welcome to another video. We're going to work on moving the squirts left and right from one side of the screen and then back and forth basically. So anytime a squirt touches the side, it will tell everybody change directions, move the other side until it hits a barrier on the other side and then continues just bouncing back and forth, moving them where to go. Alright, so what we're going to need is we're going to need to go to the environment and we're going to add a left and right side detection. So let's go to the environment here and I'm going to add an area 3D. This is going to be our detection for the sides of our screen. So this is going to be called the right side detection. And then I'm also going to add another one. This is going to be left side detection. Alrighty. Alright, inside of these detections, I'm going to add a collision shape 3D. I'm going to use the regular box here, box shape. And I'm going to transform this box. Alright, I think that's going to be... Let's put it on Y. Maybe we should be moving this one here. Hold on. Yeah, let's go to the right side detection. We'll put it on 31. The position for X will be 50 and our Y will be 60. Oops. Break this link. 60. There we go. Okay, so I just have like this column here. I actually moved the right side detection, so I put a collision shape. I selected a box. I didn't actually mess with that. I messed with the area here, so there's that one. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other one. I'm going to add a collision shape. Why is my eyes... Okay, there, it's right at the top. Come on now. And I'm going to transform. This one is going to be -50 and 31. Break the link and do 60. Why does this not? Oh, I did not add a collision shape, so make sure you put in a box. There we go. Alright, so I've got two boxes on either side. Your squirts should move back and forth, touching each one of those gizmos right there. This one is going to be our right side detection. I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to say access as unique name, and then also this one, access as a unique name. So I've got my right and left collision boxes, or my detection zones, added in. Then on the squirt holder, we're going to add a script to this one. Alright, so we're going to add a script to this one. I'm going to go add attach. We're going to put this under... We're going to use the levels folder. So under scripts, going to levels, and we're going to go open, and we'll say create. And this is our level holder. This will be our squirt holder. So up here at the top, I want to make sure I fill that in. That's squirt holder. All right. We're going to need a ready function. And we'll do pass right here for a second. And then up here, I'll give myself some notes. This holds the squirts. and tells them how to move on the screen. Perfect. All right. So I like to make another function called the initial setup function. This initial setup function is used to connect signals and do general setup. Okay, so that's what this function is for. And I usually just call it right off the bat. Now you're thinking, why don't, that's just the ready function. Yeah, I know, I'm weird. So just deal with it. Okay, you can connect these functions, or you can connect the signals from the right side and left side detection. You're going to want to connect those. The way I'm going to do it is going to be a little bit different. Usually I show you guys to go to node and then signals and do body entered or area entered, etc. I'm not going to do it that way. This time I'm going to actually type this in, and that's going to be under my initial setup. So I'm going to show you one of them. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to type this in right here. Dang, I guess I should have actually got a hold of the left boundary detection. So I'll say var, or actually we'll say at on ready var, and we actually want to get a hold of this left boundary here. So this looks for the left boundary detector, which is this left side detection here. And you'll notice I did the unique name. So this is get the left boundary. And then we'll also do the get right boundary. All right, and I kind of put this one in a little bit early, but there it is. We need a function for boundary alert. That's boundary alert is literally just going to be a function that tells us when something touched it. Boundary alert. And what does this do? This tells us when a squirt touches the sides of the screen. All right, there's actually two things needed for this boundary alert. This boundary alert is going to tell you who touched it. So that body is who. And then we're also going to add a second thing, which is which direction we're currently which direction we're currently going. So who touched it and what direction were we traveling. Direction and who touched it. So you'll notice right here on the left boundary detector, it sends it the value of right. This bind here, what that means is anytime something touches the left boundary, I want you to call this function, tell me who touched it, and tell me right, or tell me that I want you to switch directions to the other direction. Now the right side is going to do the exact opposite, or the exact same thing, but just in the opposite way. So this one here will be the, if the right boundary is touched, it will call the boundary alert, it'll tell it who, and then it's going to tell it to go in a different direction. So our direction of travel, I made a variable to hold this. This tells us which way to go or travel. Okay, so this is basically dictating which direction they're going. They're either going to the left or they're going to the right. And basically what's going to happen is whenever they touch the left bound, it's going to switch this travel direction to the opposite, which would be right. Or if it hits the right, it'll switch to the opposite of left. And that's going to be what dictates our characters going, which are our squirts moving either left or right. Now, we also need to actually move everything. So this entire script here is going to be what moves the stuff around. So we need a process function. So every frame of the game, and we'll say we'll just want to move the squirts. So we want to take the squirts for squirt, or actually I'll say alien, in yourself, get your children. Okay, so this says get each of your children one at a time, and if your travel direction is to the left, then we want to move the objects to the left. So basically this will be move the squirts to the left. And then we'll do the opposite. We'll say elif. I can just grab this part right here. Otherwise, if the direction is to the right, I'll grab these two. Move the squirts to the right. Okay, we need to know basically how fast can they move. So up at the top, I'll give them a speed. We'll just give it a movement speed of 5 to start with. And so now we're going to actually move the characters, move each one of those objects. So we'll say each alien, we want to get each one of their positions and change it on the x-axis. I don't have a difficulty speed up yet, so I'm going to go that right there. So if we're going to the left, we're going to be subtracting from the x, and we're using this alien speed here. I'm going to get rid of these quotes. Later on, whenever you guys get more advanced, we'll add difficulty speed ups and stuff like that. But for right now, we are not there yet. This should be move the squirt to the left. Okay, so go to each one of your children. That's what this says. And if this thing says go to the left, well, that means you need to subtract some x and move everything to the left, or move that alien to the left. If it says right, we want you to move the alien to the right. Let's put a print statement here for boundary alert. Essentially, when a body touches it, the boundary alert should go off. Let's just see what that looks like. We'll say print, and I'll say this. I'm going to grab this thing up here, and I'll say, first off, Mr. Squirt Holder, he would like to tell you something. He's going to tell you about this boundary alert, and he's got 2 arguments. The first argument is the body that touched him, so I'll just say body.name, and then he also has a direction. Okay, so when something touches it, lowercase b, it's got to be real careful about those. Okay, so if something touches it, it's going to tell us what that thing's name is and what our current, which direction was sent to us. And we'll swap those up there, but I want to see if this works first. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to hit play. And our squirts are moving to the left. They touch the edge and we don't get any output. That's because, I wonder if you can guess. Well, I don't think our squirt actually has a body right now. So let's go to our character here. He's got no collision shape. He has no body. Nobody knows. Under this, what we're going to do to make the body actually work is I want you to go to the squirt arm, right click on it and say change type. And I want you to use a character body 3D. So now he has a body, but you'll see it gets a warning here that says, hey, we have no shape. I want you to add a collision shape. And if you haven't noticed yet, we're using really simple everything to start with. I'm just going to add a sphere. Let's make this sphere a little bit bigger. Let's try 2. 2 looks pretty okay. So the size of 2. So we changed this to a character body, and we added a simple collision shape. All right, I will save this. Let's go back to our test world again, and let's go ahead and play it again. Our characters are still playing their animation. They hit the side, and it says, hey, something touched it, and it wants to do right. It's saying, hey, change this to right. Right. A squirt armature touched me, and the direction right. Let's go back to our squirt holder here. What determines whether our characters are moving to the left or right? Well, that is this simple travel direction. And when we touched the left side of the screen, it sent us this beautiful word, right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this travel direction and I'm going to swap the name of it. I'm going to make it equal to the direction. All right, so when those guys move into the left side, they're going to tell you, hey, the armature touched it, and we want you to, instead of going left, switch us to right. Let's try it again, see if it works. All right, so we're floating to the left, touches it, and then it moves to the right. Now it's going to get to the other side. It's going to touch the right boundary. The right boundary sends it the opposite word. It says, hey, I'm the right boundary, but I want you to go left. And then the left boundary touches it. Hey, I'm the left boundary, but I want you to go right. And so they're just going to move back and forth. They're going to hit either side. When it hits the right, it's going to go left. When it hits the left, it's going to go right. All right, maybe I can throw this in really quick. I'm going to try to see if I can do this right quick. Okay, our alien, our squirt, he has an animation for changing directions for right and left. He has a spin L and he has a spin R. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to call that function whenever change direction is called. So I'm going to make a function for squirt changing direction. So I'm on the squirt 00 here, and I'm making a function to tell the squirt which animation to play for left or right. So this calls the correct spin for changing direction. I'm going to do a really simple print statement first. So I'll come up here, I'll grab this squirt 00, and I'm going to say squirt 00. It called this change direction function. It gave me an argument for dir for direction, and I just want to see what that direction is. I did not mean to paste that whole thing, but whatever, we'll use it. All right, so when this function is called, it needs to know what direction. I'm going to grab this function, and I'm going to go back to my squirt holder, and anytime we change direction, we want to call this function on that alien guy there. So I will say, we can basically grab this same thing here. For each alien in get children, I want you to call the change direction function and send it this direction. So dir. So we'll say alien, I want you to play the change direction function. Now, this is going to pick up the body, and on the body, it's this one right here. So we want to call that one level up, right? So this body does not have a script, but his parent does have a script. So whenever we call that function, whenever the squirt holder calls it, it doesn't need to call it on the alien, but it needs to call it on the parent. So we'll say get parent, call this function. If you don't use this get parent, it'll try to call it on this thing, and this thing does not have any functions, period. So boundary check. Let's see what happens. Let's try to go a little faster because we're running out of time. You should see each one of these guys, and we crashed. In node squirt holder 3D. All right, I paused it and figured it out. I know that was a nanosecond for you, but I lied to you. You don't need the get parent. I don't know why. I'm guessing it counts the node at the top, change direction, and it tells it the direction, dir right, and then when it touches the right, the change squirt direction. See, this squirt 00 is telling me that this squirt is receiving the information. So this is the squirt saying this, hey, I'm supposed to change direction to the right. And then when it hits the right, squirt says, hey, I'm supposed to change direction to the left. All right, so this is pretty well done here. I'm going to comment out this squirt holder thing. I'm going to go back to my squirt, and we just need to play the correct animation. So play animation. Well, we know it's going to be, if you look at the name, spin R, and then you have spin L. So I will say play the animation spin. One of them needs an R and one of them needs an L, and it's even a capital R and a capital L. So under dir, that is the L, it says left, L-E-F-T. So I just need that first letter there. So I'm going to say give me the first letter, which is the 0 letter. So take spin and add the first letter. So that's either going to be the L or it's going to be the capital R. Come on. Man, there's a bunch of those guys. Come on. There we go. So it's either going to be capital L or capital R right there. So play the animation spin plus R or plus L. And that should play it. Let's try it. Sorry for the long video. I just get going. I don't want to swap. There it is. They're spinning all to the one. Ooh, that guy. Oh, the animation finished and he automatically chose the next one. But anyway, it hits the right, and then all of them spin to the left. I bet you what's happening is some of them have not finished their animation yet, so they're still playing that one. There we go. You could probably fix. Man, I like to continue working on stuff because I'm a dork. But if you just do movement player dot stop, I think it'll stop, and then it'll play the other one. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Soul, why do you have to keep torturing us? Just show us that it works and leave us alone. There we go. They all did it. So they're all going to the left, to the right. They hit the wall. They stop their animation. Then all of them play the other animation. All right. So that was a bunch of stuff. Sorry, the 26-minute video, but there you go. There you go. You got spin L and spin R. See you guys in the next one.